This day in time. What happened today, years ago?
We're heading now to 18th century America.
Right. A very different scene. This is a time defined by that growing European desire, that ambition to push westward into territories that seemed vast, largely unknown, at least to them.
And the material brings Daniel Boone into focus here. He's presented as this figure almost synonymous with, frontier courage, survival skills.
The quintessential pioneer in that narrative.
Yeah. He sets out to explore lands that, from the perspective of the white settlers, were essentially untouched wilderness. Wild, mysterious.
And the sources, again, they pinpoint June 7th, this time 1769. That's the specific moment they highlight.
What happened on that day?
They describe Boone standing on a high point, Pilot Knob apparently, and getting his very first really comprehensive view of the Kentucky Valley spread out below him. Fertile land stretching out.
And it's portrayed as what? An iconic moment.
An iconic moment, yeah. A symbolic opening. The sources depict this single glimpse as basically opening the floodgates, paving the way for the thousands upon thousands of settlers who would soon follow him into that region.
Painting this picture of a kind of promised land, maybe?
Yeah.
Right for the taking?
Exactly. That's the narrative presented. But, and this is really crucial, according to your sources, they immediately provide the vital counterpoint.
Which is?
This wasn't empty land. This territory was the long-established ancestral home of numerous Native American tribes.
Right. That's critical context.
Absolutely. And the material is quite unflinching about it. It states very clearly that the arrival and presence of Europeans in this so-called promised land directly led to decades of intense conflict, displacement, violence against the native populations.
So the sources explicitly connect that June 7th discovery to the conflict that followed.
Yes. They explicitly call the impact on native tribes a side of history we cannot forget. They acknowledge the devastating consequences of this expansionist turning point.
Okay, so this June 7th in 1769, it's presented as a turning point rooted in exploration, territorial ambition. Yes, a moment of perceived discovery for one group. But your sources make sure we understand that for the people already living there, it marked the beginning of something entirely different. Profound disruption, loss, and struggle. It triggered a wave of settlement that fundamentally changed the land and led to decades of conflict.
It really throws into relief how a single historical marker, a single date, can hold such vastly different meanings, and often tragic meanings, depending on whose perspective you're looking from.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more history daily.